Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can display your author name, and here successfully I display the author name, who actually created that post. So right now there is an admin, so it's now perfectly visible on here. So in this video, I will discuss about that status option. And into the status here, I just assign one of the button as a unpublished. Okay, so we did this type of work in our category. So if you go to that category, like there is a button for the unpublished or published. Okay, so right now I just want to do the same things for our post. So now I just want to apply that things on here. But doing this, first of all, we have to work in our post controller. Okay, like we did that type of work in our the category controller. Like if you go to that category controller, and here I created one of the method as a status. Like that is actually the status method. Okay, for now I just copy whole things from here, and now I just remove it. And in our post controller, after that, and so here I just defining it. Okay, I just defining that things on particular that position. That means that our status. So here if you go to that button, like here I just define the button in our post list page. So if you go to that post list, so here there is our list page, and into the list page here you can see I just defining as a back and post and then status, and then also there is some of the ID. So for now, first of all, we have to do like here, that was actually the category. So right now I just defining as a post. Okay, I just define another category as a post, and then it should be as our post model. And here I just want to first of all find out that ID, and then this post. So post status equal. First of all, there is a 1, then it should be the post status will be the 0, and then again it should be the 1. Okay, so I already discussed about that things with you. Hope it's very much clear to you. And then we have to update this category, and then I just want to save it. And after that I just want to redirect it to our page. So that is our admin, that is should be our post controller. So here I just defining our post controller. Okay, so here I just defining our admin post controller, and in our post controller here it should be redirected to our index page. And also here I just assign all of the success message. It should be display, like here defining it as a post status. Okay, post status changed successfully. So this type of message will be visible. So now we have to create our route. So here you can see that it's the back and post and then status. So now we have to create that route. So if you go to that route area, and into the route area, better I just copy it. Okay, I just copy it, and in particular that position. So that will be the actually updated. So because here if you select on particular that position, then it will be updated the status value. For the reasons, it should be the put method. Okay, so here I just define that put, and after that it should be the post, and after that post it should be the status. So here I just define the status. Okay, I just define the status, and after the status also it should be updated with the ID. So here you have to assign the ID, like before I did this type of work. Okay, so after that I just define that ID. Okay, then it should be redirected to our admin and the post controller, and that is a method. So I already created that method as a status method. So I just defining as a status method, and it should be named as post status. So here I just defining as a post status, and also here you can assign some of the permission for this one. Okay, for now I just define that all for our admin. So that's all about our routes. And after that, so that is all this page. Here I already assigned the post, so that will be the put method, so the row ID, and here when it should be equal 1, then I just define the submit as the unpublished or published. So here we don't need to do anything, it's now perfect on particular that position. So that's all you have to do. For now I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, so right now there is a status value. So if you go to our database, like if you go to the database table, so that is our post table, and into the post table here if you go to that position, so that is the status as a 1. Okay, so right now let's check this out. I just want to click on the unpublished. Yes, you can see now the post status changed successfully. So if you now go to that position, okay, if you now actually browse that again, and here you can see that is status is now updated. So now that is actually becomes 0. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it, and it's perfectly now working on here. And also they have the another field as a hot news. So for the hot news, I also want to assign this type of one of the things, like if you want to do that work, like that is actually the TD. Okay, so after the TD, I just want to take another one. So I just copy it and here I paste it. And now here I just put some of the URL as a back, and then it should be redirected to hot. And after that, I just defining that news. Okay. So here I just define better. I just define first of all the post. Okay, post, and then the hot news. So I just define the hot, and after that I just defining that news. Okay, I just defining it. So this should be our URL. That means it should be our route, and after that it should be also updated as an ID. So for now here I just define as a yes or no. Okay, so I just define that no, and I just define another is for the yes. So I hope you can well understand about it. So status equal 1, then if you click select as a no, then it should be updated with the 0. So this type of thing. So also here I add new TD. So we have to also add new one after that status. So here I just define new one as a hot news. So it means if you want to actually make that news as a hot news, so then you can do that work. So for the reasons I just defining another one, and here that is our TD. So now we have to create one of the methods. So if you go to that position, it should be just like that same. So better I just copy it, and here I just paste it. And here this our method name. So here I want to create one of the methods as a hot underscore news. Okay, so this type of one of the method. So then I just defining that things with also the post, and now that will be the our field name as a hot news. Okay, like here if you go to that position, you can see that it's hot underscore news. So here I just defining it. Also I define updated it on the 0 value and the 1 value, and then I just want to save it, and after that save it should be redirected to our index page. And also here I just define one of the success message as a post. So here I just define post set as hot news. Okay, so hot news changed successfully. So this type of one of the message I just want to display on particular that position. So now after that we have to create one of the route for this one. So go to the route area, and it should be just like the same. So I just copy it, and here I just paste it. So into this position our URL. So here our URL with the post hot and then the news. So I just copy it, and here it will be the post and hot and then the news, and after that that is actually the ID. So it should be work in our admin the post controller which method. So here I already defined one of the method as a hot news method. So I have to define that hot news. And also then status will be the post hot news. So I just define that hot news. Okay, the post hot news will be the as defined, and then that is a middleware. I just define some of the permission, so you can create this permission. Okay, right now there is all is okay with me. So that's all you have to do. So you have to create the route, you have to create all of the method in our controller area, and also here you have to assign that URL. Okay, so now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and if you go to the database area right now, all the status here this hot news actually becomes 0. So now I want to change it. Let's check this out. I just click on the refresh that page, and now here you can see they have also another icon as a hot news. Now it's actually showing as a yes, and there is a no, there is a published and the unpublished. Okay, so here if you click on the yes, so now it says as post set as hot news change color. So here that is not changing. Okay, like that is on our list page. I just assigning it. Maybe I did something wrong in our list page. So that is actually the put method. There is a back post hot news row ID, and here you can see that is actually assigned that row as a status. So here it should be actually that field name, that is our field name as a hot news. So for now here I is defining it like it's a hot underscore news. Okay, so here I just defining it, and now I just click on the save all. Okay, so I just click on the save all, and now in our hot news all that actually is a 0 value. So right now I just refresh it, and now that is our hot news. So I just click on the no, yes. Now you can see it's now become changed. And also if you want to change it like yes to no, then now you can see it's now become also changed. And also if you refresh your database field, like here I just refresh it, and here you can see is the hot news has now become 1. Okay, so it's now successfully I did that work. So for now, if you want to make that news as a hot news, then you can select as a yes, okay, rather than you can select as a no. So for the reasons, I just define one of the option for the hot news, and also if you want to publish that post, then you can actually publish it from to this position, rather than these posts will be not visible in our site. So now all the things is perfectly work on particular that area. So in our next video, I will discuss about that edit options. Like if you want to update your all that post, then how can do that work? In our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.